Episode 295. Meet Claude Cowork.
The primitive forms of artificial intelligence we already have proved very useful.
AI is a golden opportunity.
How do we ensure that this technology is regulated?
The long arc of technological history is now in an extraordinary new phase.
The AI6 podcast with Joanne Sweeney.
Anthropic just give Claude the ability to work directly on your computer. Not chat about your files, not help you when you prompt it, but actually, Claude Cowork can open your files, edit them, organize them, create new ones. It, in fact, is your coworker. Hello and welcome back to AI6, the podcast that promises to bring you along the AI wave, keep you updated, and remove the overwhelm in just 6 minutes a day. And remember, on Saturdays, we have the long listen. And if you want to join me, simply drop me a DM on LinkedIn. Let's have an AI conversation. Anthropic wrote on its blog, when we released Claude Code, we expected developers to use it for coding. They did, and then quickly began using it for almost everything else. This prompted us to build Cowork. So Cowork launched on January 12th as a research preview. It's built on the same technology as Claude Code, their developer tool, and I've been testing it. But first, what is Cowork? In a normal Claude chat, so it's a large language model just like ChatGPT, you ask questions, you get answers, but Cowork is different. You give Claude access to a folder on your computer. Claude reads the files, makes a plan, and executes it while keeping you updated. Anthropic describes the shift like this. It feels much less like a back and forth and much more like leaving messages for a coworker. Here's the thing that caught my attention. The Anthropic team built Cowork in about 10 days. And they built most of it using Claude Code itself. AI building AI tools. And I love how transparent and open and forthcoming Anthropic are as a company. They give us all their trade secrets, and I've got another episode coming up on the new Claude Constitution, so listen out for that. So how do you get Claude Code? So Cowork is available now on Mac operating systems, not available on Windows yet, but Anthropic says it's coming. You need to use the Claude desktop app, so not on mobile. And you also need a Claude Pro subscription of some sort. So to start, open the Claude desktop app, download it onto your computer, click the Cowork tab in the sidebar, select a folder and tell Claude what you want done. Now, I'm testing it, but I'm being super careful. So I have created a folder with podcast episodes. So it's publicly available information. The show notes are already on the podcast platforms and on my website. And I'm only allowing it to access this folder. And then I'm giving it some tasks to complete. And here are some use cases. It can tidy up your files. You can tell Cowork, organize my files by type. So in my almost 300 podcast episodes, I'm asking it to organize the files by topic. Because then maybe I could create mini series for people who want to listen to episodes about how to with AI, case studies with AI, the technology trends, what the industry is saying. Maybe it's government and communication specific. You could also give Claude Cowork access to your expenses receipts. Drop them in a folder, all of your screenshots or your digital receipts, and ask Cowork, extract the supplier, the amount, and the date from each receipt, create a spreadsheet, and then give it to me so that I can expense it to my company or to my employer. It can also do research for you. If you've got lots of notes from multiple meetings, lots of research, you could ask Cowork to pull them together into a summary with key points, decisions, and next actions. That would have been really helpful for Claude Cowork to aggregate all of my notes when I was writing my book, because I had notes and presentations and speeches and podcasts and brain dumps everywhere. Also, you can give Claude your notes and your brand assets and ask it to build a slide deck. Ask Claude Code, make it more visual, and it will update the presentation directly. This is a great use case. I mean, who loves spending times on PowerPoint? Not me. And then it can work on the browser. So you could pair Cowork with the Claude in the Chrome extension, and Claude can navigate websites, fill in forms, and even scan other files and find forgotten subscriptions. Maybe you want to update them, delete them, cancel them. Claude does it, but you advise it. Of course, with AI systems, there are risks, and Anthropic is being honest and open about them. In the announcement on their website, they said Claude can take potentially destructive actions, such as deleting local files if it's instructed to. They also warn about prompt injection. That means malicious instructions hidden in documents or websites that could alter Claude's behaviour. But they say they've built defences. They're clear that agent safety is still an active area of development. Their advice? Be specific. Vague instructions lead to unpredictable results. Keep sensitive files and folders Cowork never touches. When using the Chrome extension, stick to trusted sites. Always verify outputs, especially dates and financial figures. Cowork will ask permission before major actions, but you still need to pay attention. Treat it like a fast, capable intern who occasionally gets things wrong. Well, Simon Willison is a developer and an AI commentator, and he tested Cowork on day one. He pointed it at his blog drafts folder, 46 files from the past 3 months, and he asked Claude to figure out which ones he'd already published and which were closest to being ready. Claude made a plan, ran 44 searches against his website, cross-referenced everything, and came back with a prioritised list. His verdict? This is a really smart product. Claude Code has an enormous amount of value that hasn't yet been unlocked for a general audience, and this seems like a pragmatic approach. But he also flagged the security question. Claude runs your files in an isolated virtual machine, which should keep it sandboxed. But the moment you give any AI access to your actual files, you're accepting some risk. So make sure that you always only give it files that you don't care about. So for me, these are publicly available and they're isolated on the desktop on their own. Be specific. Don't just say organize it. You need to actually have your files labeled and a very specific action you want it to take. Add safety guardrails. Include don't delete anything, or if unsure, put in a needs review folder. Ask for a summary. Always get Claude Cowork to tell you what it did so that you can check. And of course, keep sensitive stuff separate. It's a research preview. It will improve, but right now, always expect occasional mistakes like any AI system. Cowork is a big AI shift this year. Of course, we're moving more into the agentic side of artificial intelligence, and we're getting agents to do the work. That's it for today's show. If you enjoyed AI 6, please share it with a pro that you know, and do leave a review so that it helps me reach more people. I'm Joanne Sweeney. I'll be back with you tomorrow.